Well, hello there, trainers. Greetings, KuroBlitz here, and welcome back to another video. It's been a while, hasn't it? Well, no longer you have to wait. As for I am here, and I'm today going to review the first arc of the new anime series Pokémon Horizons, titled Liko and Roy Departure, which aired from April 14 to October 21st. 25 episodes total. A season of anime, which is very weird for Pokemon to do because they don't take breaks to make a seasonal anime, so they decided to go with this approach. And it's really interesting. We are going to get a new arc called the Shining of Terapagos, or the Glow of Terapagos, starting this Friday, and we are going to get not only a new opening, but also new visuals. This is the first time that we got something very early. It's very interesting. It's very interesting. The earliest we got in terms of visuals and opening combined was with AG70. But yeah, let me talk about, Pokemon Horizons, because I did some reviews on the first 4 episodes, and I did some posts on community tabs in order to try to, get engagement and whatever, and I really want to review this show. I love this show. This is probably my 3rd favorite show of the entirety of the mythos of the Pokemon anime. And I really love the dynamic of this show. I love the characters, I love the cast, and the show isn't perfect. No show is perfect. I want for that to be perfectly stated. There are some cons that this show has, and I feel like it's important to also evaluate them in terms of, what I feel like this show needs to tackle for Season 2. First and foremost, the cast of the Rising Volt Tacklers. We need to get them more fleshed out. One of the great attributes that Alola did with the Sun and Moon series was that we all got at least one focus episode for every classmate of Ash and even surrounding characters like Jessie James and Professor Kukui. With Horizons, I feel like they didn't do that yet, because we got an episode focused on Molly and Arboliva, but it's very surface level when it comes to her character. We get instances of her character, but not really know about, Molly's past. We know about Freed's past with episode 18, and Ludlow and Orla are attached to Freed's past, but we don't get an episode about themselves, really. We know that Ludlow has a Quagsire, and that's about it, and he hangs around Dot's Quaxley, which apparently wasn't even Dot's till episode 16. It could have been Ludlow's. And Orla has a Metagross and an Elekid, and that's it, she's just the mechanic, she's the engineer. And I like the idea of, because this is made by Saori Dan, who made Eureka 7, we get an ensemble of characters, and I see a criticism going around online that, Pokemon Horizons has a lot of characters to, balance out, and I'm like, this is normal for every other anime. Pokemon is now diving deep into what they can be as an anime, and I applaud them for that. A lot of people say that this doesn't feel like a Pokemon story, and I'm like, it does. Your perception of Pokemon story, or what it can be, or what it should be, is very restricted to the Ash era. It goes to show that you don't play the games without reading them, and you don't read the manga or, create your own fanfictions. This, I really enjoy. I really enjoy the characters, and I also really enjoy, the aspect of, the seasons. Not the seasons, the batches. We get character-focused batches every 6 episodes. Episode 6 was with Roy, episode 12 was with Luca, Liko's mother, episode 18 was with Freed, and episode 24 was with Diana, Liko's grandmother. But in terms of regions, we were 8 episodes in Kanto, we were 8 in Paldea, and we were 8 plus the extra finale in Galar. And we are still going to be in Galar for a while. But I do like this 6-6-6-6-8-8-8 approach. Now, when it comes to Galar, I like that we are visiting Galar. However, I don't like that Horizons is trying to, do damage control or correction course for the mishaps of Journeys. No show should be the Fix-It series for any other show prior. Even though Journeys kind of forced himself to do it, but that's not the topic for now. Horizons should focus on, doing their own way of traveling the world, and they are doing it. We see that the regions feel alive and they are not just a background for the week or for the episode. So I do applaud them for that. However, there are some choices that feel a little bit dubious, if I may say. For example, episode number 10, Nemona and Brassius. I don't like that Nemona is in the episode. I don't dislike Nemona as a character, however I feel like she's extremely unneeded to be in this episode. I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to replicate the Leon effect with, introducing a champion earlier, but it feels very bare bones. Nemona is very tied to the League Challenge, and this is a globe-trotting series. There's not gonna be a gym challenge or a Pokemon League plot in the Horizon. There's no feasible way for them to do it. And to me, I feel like if the plot was about Brassius and the statue about Rayquaza, would it make more sense to Hassel to be there? Hassel teaches in the Naraha Academy that we see in the episode prior, and he's an Elite Four member of Dragons, so knowing about Rayquaza makes sense. The Japanese community even ships both of them, Brassius and Hassel. So why wasn't Hassel in that episode? One of my friends, Navy Blue Suicune, shout out to him, gonna leave the link in the description down below, even stated that Arven could have been there, because he wants to learn about Herba Mystica, he wants to learn about herbs, so he goes to the Grass Gym Leader for that. And I was even willing to agree, however, Arven's story is very tied to what version of the game because of what parent is going to be missing, right? And in a show like this, I don't feel like Arven's story needs to be tackled. Heck, with the Explorers, I'm fully prepared to not have anything Team Star related, because Team Star is very tied to the Academy. If we are not in the school, having a plot about the former bullied kids in that school doesn't make any sense. It's super detached from the main series. The Explorers are already doing a fantastic job in terms of they are not in the games, so we don't know what they're up to or against. Like, we don't know their deal, because we don't have a blueprint. With every other series in the Ash era, we had an idea what the end game was, and we could, measure the goalposts with whatever they were doing. With this one, we can't. And that's good. It means that, anything can happen, and we are always being surprised every now and then. Freed's Pikachu is able to fly, but we don't know if his Tera is the flying one like the event. Charizard was a dragon, but he has Dark Tera. Like the TCG, they are making extremely good nods. The Explorers are all named after gemstones. Amethyst, Zirconia, Spinel, Amber, even Gibeon is the name of a meteorite. So, and he apparently looks like an AI, or at least it's an AI voice, so... And Lucius, apparently it's Heat, but in the anime version. So they are taking assets from the games and making their own story, and I'm very happy with it. I am very happy with it. But going back to the Harvan stuff, Nemona didn't need to be there, it should have been Hassel. Or even Gita, because Brass is not doing his job as gym leader, have Gita there. Gita is a champion, you could do the Leon stuff, but Gita is not really the strongest trainer in Paldea. So I feel like that could have been something more unique. And I like Arboliva. I like how Arboliva is an original quote-unquote Titan. Instead of doing the Titans from the games, they made an original one, and it makes sense. The problem is, that the Herba Mystica in the anime, they are, the secret spices, they are purchasable. Murdoch bought a bunch of them besides the spicy one that Spinel made a false advertisement for. So, I feel like that is a great indicator that Arven plot will not be in this show. Don't get your hopes up for anything related to Arven plot. Leave Paldea wins for that. We got Arven in episode 1 and we got Nemona in episode 2. Fully aware, I'm fully prepared to believe that the episode 3 of Paldea wins is going to be about Homa and about Penny. Because, we got O'Hara with Arven and Alakis with Nemona. So, episode 3, Homa and Penny. Get prepared for that. If not, it's a whatever situation. Now, I really feel like this series... I don't dislike Roy. I have to tackle the Roy conundrum. I don't dislike Roy. I feel like Roy is fine, but that's the problem. You know, Roy for me he's just whatever. He's a nothing burger for me. I know a lot of people love them because they remind them of Ash. That's the problem for me. It's because he reminds me of Ash. But it's the Ash of Journeys and Sun and Moon, which is the version of Ash that I don't vibe with. Never did. For 7 years. The Ash that I know died with the end of XYZ. Say what you want. For me, that was the version of Ash. The later, it's a childish, infantilized bastardization of his character. Yes, he won 2 times champion, but that doesn't really make the character for me. Trophies and titles don't make the character for me. And Roy traces back to this Ash's traits, and everything about for him is new. I get it, he lived in the island, of course everything is new for him. But he feels like he's not really needed. Like, his Pokeball was the interesting part, until he got Hope in episode 6 and was revealed to have Rayquaza, so there's no mystery, there's no GS Ball mystery there. And the worst part is that every other hero Pokemon of Lucius has the same exact Pokeball, so his is not unique. If his was a different color, yeah sure, fine, but it's not. His special item is not unique. And then Liko, quote unquote, he usurped his plot with the pendant, but not really. And the thing with Roy is that Roy is a kid from Kanto in an island that doesn't know the world any better. That role could have been filled by Anne, Liko's dorm mate. This could have been a shoujo anime where Liko, Anne, and Dot are the 3 protagonists. Anne could have gotten Fuecoco, and she has a Sandshrew, she could have still gotten that, and she's given a Oshawott, so if anything she could have gotten a Fuecoco. She gets all caught up in the Explorer stuff as well, and Oshawott is a Pokemon on the ship, and she catches that in the Treasure Beach of the Savvy Islands, like, hey, let's go meet my grandfather, or something. But no, we don't have any of that. And they gave this girl an Oshawott, debatably the 3rd mascot of Pokemon, and one that gets a Hisuian evolution, and there's nothing really being done with her. I don't dislike Roy. Just to reiterate, I have nothing against his character, but he's extremely replaceable. Dot in 2 episodes was more interesting than he was in... For how many episodes he's been around? 20-ish? Yeah, 20-ish. And that's just it for me. Now with the Explorers, I really like Ametio. He's cool. He's very flexible in terms of, you know, can he be trusted? Can he just make his own agenda or whatever? As for his henchmen, if Ametio leaves, I'm very curious about what's going to be done with them. Are they going to get upgraded? Are they going to go against the Explorers as well? There's a lot of questions. The 6 hero Pokemon, they are very interesting, because now we know it's Rayquaza, Arboliva, Moltres, which was a surprise. I thought it was going to be Zapdos. And we got Lapras. That feels weird there. I don't know if Lapras will be a Gigantamax permanently one, or even a shiny. Cleavor is cool, because it means they're going to tackle Hisuian lore. And we know that the actress that plays Madoka Akagi in the Poketsume novel that's being aired on Midnight, that live action stuff, she's gonna voice an Ambipom, so maybe they are going to Sinnoh after Galar. So, is Horizons trying to correct Sword and Shield and BDSP in Gen 9? Just for the games to still sell? I guess. But I don't know anymore. And then we're gonna have Entei. People are already saying it's a Paradox Entei, and I'm like, maybe. I would like for the bamboozle or for the twist that Paradox Entei it's the future version, not the past like the other ones. Now that would be cool. In terms of Terastal, like, I really like the CGI. I feel like, you know, it's very cool and the textures are extremely brilliant in my opinion. And we were in Paldea for 8 episodes, and we were in the southeast province, because we see Cabo Poco, Messagoza, Artazon, and Lavencia. So we see like we see the bottom right quadrant. We see the east of Paldea. And we see two gym leaders. We see Brassius and Iono. Iono was fine. And so was Brassius. I like that the gym leaders here are being used not as a goalpost to lose so that the protagonist can, get badges. They are here to test the characters, to make them stronger. Funny enough, the best way that they used this was with Kabu, which is a Galar gym leader, not a Paldea gym leader. So in my head, if they return to Paldea, they might do this again, where for every cardinal province we will get 8 episodes each. Like, for example, 8 episodes in the northeast, northwest, and then southwest. So 24 more episodes, and we have 2 more gym leaders to show up. They can do it. I don't know how they'll do it, but they can do it. I don't know if Paldea will always be a rendezvous point. It kind of makes it predictable, and I don't want for this show to do that. If anything, if we go to Sinnoh, I'm fully prepared to believe that, we might go to Kitakami or Blueberry Academy, and that's gonna be it, But I'm really enjoying the show so far. We just need, more focus on the Rising Voltaclers individually. We need to see what Ludlow's whole deal is. As for Freed, I really like Freed. However, I feel like Freed needs to have a situation where he isn't in the spotlight, so that the kids can be in the spotlight. Like, have Freed be kidnapped or something. Or better yet, show a third Pokemon. They are going to what I like to call the Kukui syndrome, where Kukui had Braviary and Incineroar, and that was about it. Freed is only showing 2 Pokemon, and he's a professor and he's a badass, but I feel like he should be revealing a whole team. Even his members don't have full teams. Like, Murdoch has Cream and Rockruff? We do see Muck around him, but that's more of a garbage disposal. Molly only has Chansey. Pommy, Shuckle, and Snorunt are just there for, medical attention. Orla has Slugma and Carkol to help her out. And we have Noctowl that may or may not be Ludlow's, because Johto, right? There's a lot of potential here, so I want to see what they're gonna, tackle. And Liko getting a Tera in episode 21. I'm not really a fan of a Tera. It doesn't feel like a Liko Pokemon to me. But I get what they're trying to do. They want to give Liko a team based on magicians or Pokemon that feel emotion. Meowscarada, Hatterene, etc, etc. So if that's gonna be the case, I would like for her third Pokemon to be a Jangmo-o, because Jangmo are very tribal warriors, they sense a lot of emotion, and it's an Alolan Pokemon, so if they want to, catch species from Paldea to Kanto going backwards there, it will make sense for her to have a team of 9, however, I doubt she will have a team of 9. And it's very light-based. Roy has very sound-based Pokemon, being, Fuecoco and Wattrel that has Uproar. The third one could be a Nimble to become a Lokix, because grasshoppers make a lot of noise. And I would be fine if Roy only has these 3. I feel like Roy only just needs 1 more, and that's it. Because ever since Diamond and Pearl with Brock, that people only have like 3, 4 tops. It's never been gone past that. People haven't had a full team ever since Dawn, which is kinda sad. Or even Go, and Go only had like 3 focused with the starters, and it's sad. It's really sad that, they're trying to make it more realistic by having Pokemon trainers be like Digimon tamers where they only have 3 max, and I don't know how to feel about that. But alas, this is, becoming extremely interesting, and I'm really liking the story. The story, it's absolutely phenomenal, and the pacing is good. We have action, but we also have, slice of life moments, and we have a lot of introspectives and character development. Freed and Liko feel like an adult teenager dynamic, while Freed and Roy feel like an adult kid dynamic, which is why I don't like Liko and Roy as a duo that much, because it's a teen and a kid. We don't know Liko's age, but she's not 10. She's not confirmed to be 10, so I want to believe she's older than 10. So a teenager-kid dynamic to me doesn't make me enjoy it because I'm an adult. I've seen Pokemon tackling kid stuff for 25 years. To me, Liko and Dot would make a lot more sense as a duo. Again, Roy is just there. Roy to me is just there. I don't know how this show will last. Probably at least 3 years. I feel like after, the hero plot and the explorers showing more of their cards, and maybe, a fetch quest to retrieve what you gained and lost, etc, etc. Until September, October of next year, when Emerald turns 20, I feel like, the Rayquaza plot would reach a plot point in episode 70-ish something in September. It could extend for the entirety of autumn of 2024, depending if we have a new game being revealed there or not. And if that's the case, I feel like in 2025, in January, with episode 85 or something, we will get a season 2 similar to Best Wishes. That could happen. It's not out of the possible outcomes. So, heck, a time skip is not out of the possible outcomes. We can have a time skip. There is nothing prohibiting that. But yeah, I really enjoy, how they are handling everything with this new show. It's very experimental. Yes, the mistakes that they are making, it's not their fault. It's, it's the fault of the other 25 years not having the balls to make these mistakes. Of not making this risk, may I say. This show is taking risks, for better or worse, and I have to applaud them for being something new and refreshed and being out of the norm and trying. Horizons is trying, and they are delivering. So in the end of the day, I feel like that's what matters the most. And I'm really excited to see what Season 2 has to offer us. I really am. I hope that, Roy gets a third Mon, so does Liko. I feel like, Dot needs a second at the very least. Dot is filling a max role as a protagonist, while Fried is a more competent adult, so he's Brock, but better. Now, Liko, sweetie, your Sprigatito needs to learn a new move. You cannot just use Leafage forever. I wanted you to have Hone Claws. And I wanted for you to, in the Cabo episode, to learn Magical Leaf, but no, you just Leafage, Leafage, Leafage. You need to learn something. Fully prepared for, we get Florigato and Crocolore in the end of, Arc 2. I'm not sure about Quaxwell. I'm really not sure about Quaxwell, though. I would like for Dot to have a Quaquaval, but if that's the case, be Quaxwell for a short amount of time, like how Charmeleon and Sliggoo were. But yeah, so these are just my general thoughts about, Pokemon Horizons Arc 1, Liko and Roy departure. These were 25 weeks of peak, and I cannot wait for the 25 more. And the other 25, I don't know how much this show will last. I hope a lot. The more the better. I really enjoy it. And this is a story about found family with the Rising Volt Tacklers, but also about, blood and heritage. So, let me know what you think about Season 1 in the comments down below. What you were expecting, what you liked, what you didn't like, what you want for Arc 2. So make sure to leave a comment, like, share and subscribe this video for more information on Pokemon Horizons. And I will leave you now, trainers. Take care and have an awesome journey. KuroBlitz out.